Spanish, so my English is not the best. So please forgive me.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to do like a little workshop about what is marketing. I've been working in marketing for 10 years, almost, or even more. So let's try to do it like a Q&A. If you have some questions, I think it's better because I'm supposed to talk like for 1 hour, so I don't know if I'm going to talk that much. So if you have some questions about anything, like super basic stuff, just ask me. So I will be super happy to share them with you. So I think it's important that you know a little about me and why I'm talking about marketing right now. As I told you, I'm 33 years old right now. I started working since I was in college. I was living and studying in Peru, but my dad is from Spain, so every summer I used to go there. And since the first years, I used to go to see my family and that's all. But in the second year, I told him, okay, I need to get a job, or at least a training to start working. So it started doing like a big difference because I started having like experience in Europe. It was totally a donore. But when I started working in Peru, I had like some experience in marketing in Europe, and I started growing up like super fast. I'm not a nerd, but I really like to learn a lot of stuff. So I really started working since I was super child. I started growing up a lot. My last position was as a regional manager in marketing for Kimberly-Clark. It's like a huge marketing company. I was in charge of 22 countries. And the last years I was in Peru, I was teaching for 3 different masters and diplomas. I was teaching Google Analytics, marketing, e-commerce, so different stuff, even to people that I was like older than me. But it was like a really good challenge and I really enjoyed it. So, what I'm talking about is because, as you also know, then I decided to quit everything, I started traveling and blah blah blah, and some things that maybe happened to you as well. And for me, like the personal brand was super important because at least in Peru, I know maybe it's like a small bubble in the city that I live and everything. Networking is everything, and you usually get the stuff because, of course, you're good, but also because you have some contacts and they know where to put you and everything. And for me, the image that I used to have there, like my personal brand was super important because when I was 25, as I told you, I was like teaching, giving some talks, as you can see here, and a lot of stuff. And when I decided to be a travel blogger, well, actually, when I decided to quit everything and start traveling, because at that moment I didn't know my blog was going to grow that big, I didn't want to lose that image. Because imagine, like the super corporative manager, regional manager, now she's a backpacker. So what the hell happened with this girl? Is she going to be focusing like in marketing, or she's just going to travel and become a hippie? So for me it was like an important stuff because of course I wanted to do whatever I want, but I didn't want to lose that image. So I always try to keep posting and sharing a lot of stuff in marketing, so they knew that I was a blogger, but I was a professional one. Because what happened in this world, sometimes, I mean, it's perfect, you can have any background, but there's a lot of travelers or bloggers that just left their countries or companies or whatever because they didn't have any better choice. I left my comfort zone because it was too comfortable for me. I mean, I was like on the peak of my career, I was earning a lot of money, I had everything I wanted, but to me it was like too boring. So that's why I decided to leave this. And then when you see like some of them more hippie bloggers or more hippie travelers, when they start trying to work with brands, they don't even know how to do it. They write really bad, like with some typos. They don't know how to do a media key, they don't know anything. So I really want to do the difference with this. So when I opened my blog, Viajar para Vivir, it means to travel is to live, I tried to do like, at least in Latin America, this big change. And we also co-found with some bloggers, like an organization with Spanish-speaking bloggers, to work with brands, etc. So they could see that, okay, I'm not losing this professional work. Besides that, I started giving some interviews and everything about different topics in my life. First of all, some of them was about just traveling and how can I live how can I work and live at the same time. I'm also talking about like influencers. So I'm not losing this professional profile, but I'm also on the traveling life that I think is important to know. So, what is marketing? Who is doing some marketing in your personal life or job? profession you have?
My dog.
Okay, it's good, perfect. So marketing is any strategy or tactic. It depends, because sometimes we just do like some tactics and no strategy, and that's what we should do. And it's anything that you do to promote something that you're working on it. Why is super important to do marketing? Because, for example, you can be the best developer, you can be doing a lot of stuff, but maybe you're super shy, maybe you don't know how to promote your services, and even if you're the best, nobody's going to know about it. And it's super important, not just doing, but also talking about it. Of course, I don't think the opposite is the best, because just talking and talking and talking and not doing anything, sometimes it also happens, but I think you need a balance. You can be the best doing some stuff, but maybe you're super shy or you don't know how to promote it. Okay, you're not going to get any customer, or maybe your cousin's friend or your mom's neighbor or whatever, but I mean, I think it's super important trying to promote everything. And nowadays, as you know, you have different ways to promote it, to do marketing. When I studied in college, I remember I studied from 2002 to 2008, maybe. I didn't have any course about digital, nothing. I mean, I feel super old about it, but that's how it worked. And to be honest, I learned everything I know about digital marketing while working. So I've been teaching masters and everything, and it's like, oh, do you think this master is good? Oh, do you think I should go abroad to study? It's like, do whatever you want. I just learned everything by doing it by myself. Of course, you can study, and now is the best moment to learn everything online. You have a lot of free courses and even paid courses that are amazing. But I think it's super important to see like these both sides. I'm going to explain more about these two and one more. But as you know, before, all the offline marketing used to be sometimes expensive, because having like one advertising on TV was at least improved more than $100,000, or in a magazine it could be like $10,000 and different stuff. If you're like a small business, sometimes you can do like some flyers or this kind of work, but you cannot really like measure what is happening in offline marketing, and this is something super important when online marketing comes. When online marketing started growing like some years ago, you realize that you can measure everything in real time. So this is something super important, and also something that is super nice is that you can spend like $5 per month or per week or whatever and still have some results, because you can go to the niche and you can get like a really small target and just go there. In my projects, on the blog, I have like $30 per month that I spend on advertising. And for me, of course, I could like spend more, but it depends of how much I'm earning. But at least I have my own budget, so I think it's important to try to see both. As I told you to the first guys, if you have any question, please, let's try to do it super dynamic, because then I talk. So let's try to do it like a Q&A. If you don't even know what online marketing means or whatever, please just raise your hand. So, what happens when we want to do like our own business, or we want to be freelance or consultants or whatever? We think it's like the best job, that we're going to earn a lot of prizes, we're going to earn a lot of money, have a lot of clients, and it maybe happened to you at the beginning. It's like, okay, this is not working, or maybe when I used to go to work to a company, I could arrive 9:30, drink coffee, chat with my friends, whatever, and they're still paying you. When you start working for yourself, then you realize if you don't move your ass, there's no money coming. So I think this is super important to realize, because sometimes, you don't get what you think you're gonna get in 1 to maybe 3 years. And then when you start doing some stuff, not even just your own business, even working for you, for example, me as a consultant, or me as a blogger, or any of you as a freelance, then you start realizing that you have to know a lot of stuff. I don't know about finance. I'm always struggling because I don't know how to pay my taxes. I try to, because I've been traveling a lot, I'm not supposed to be, registered as Peruvian now, but I'm doing some stuff, so I come back and I pay taxes there. Then you have to know some stuff, I don't know, about how to promote yourself, advertising. Maybe if you're an engineer, you don't know how to market yourself. So you start realizing it's like, oh man, this is harder than I thought. So you have two options. First of all, something that I always tell everyone is like, you have to focus on what you are good, because you cannot do everything, and this is like the reality. I remember when I started doing consultants and being a blogger, I wanted to do everything. I think I'm good, for example, talking with brands and doing all the negotiation. I'm good writing. I'm good, well, storytelling and traveling, of course. But for example, I'm not the best editing videos or pictures or maybe with the analytic stuff. So we decided to share with my ex-boyfriend, that also was a travel blogger and consultant, like our task. So I was the one doing all the PR and working with the companies, and he was the one doing all the numbers and stuff. So I think it's important, maybe not getting a boyfriend or girlfriend that can help you, but maybe like a colleague or a partner. But we also realized that, for example, we could be like editing a video for 1 day or 2 days, and at the end it wasn't the best. And if you hire someone that knows how to do it, hey, it worked better. So in a moment we had like 3 people working for us, like a videographer, photographer, and an assistant. Now I keep an assistant half videographer. So I know that anything, for example, now we are working in our thumbnails on YouTube. I know I can do it on Canva. I don't know if you know Canva, it's super easy to do some designs there. I know that I can do it, but I know she can do it faster. Because you have to realize something. How much is your like hourly, I don't know how to say, like hourly rate? Okay, for example, I can imagine, like mine is $100 per hour, and hers is improved $5 per hour. So it's like, why am I going to be doing something that is cheaper instead of giving this task to her? So I can keep doing a lot of business with some companies and brands and to this works instead of doing this stuff. So there's where I learned, okay, I really need to give some tasks to someone that is really good on it and just focus on the things that I'm good. So you have 2 things, as I told you, hire someone, and don't think that, oh my god, it's going to be a lot of money, I'm not earning that much. Just try to see how much you earn every month, and you can get a lot of people super cheap. I mean, they are good, but they are cheap because they are still learning. And you know how like this, I mean, I'm still a millennial, but this new generation are like, they are 20 years old and they are super multitasking and doing a lot of stuff. And you have a lot of platforms. I don't know if you know, like Fiverr, for example, that if you need someone that can do a PowerPoint for you in half an hour for $10 or $15, you can have it. So I think you can try to see all these platforms as well. You can have a VR, like, a virtual assistant. You can have someone working with you. Actually, I started working with Stephanie, my assistant, online for maybe half year, and I met her 2 months ago that I was in Peru. It's like, I thought I had her like, oh, we are best friends, like, oh, this is the first time we see each other face to face. But we have been working for a lot of time. Yeah.
Last question.
Yeah, sure.
So how do you vet people when you're using platforms like Fiverr or Upwork?
How do you what, sorry?
How do you vet them? How do you know they're actually going to be able to?
For example, in Fiverr, you have your own profile and you can say, I'm good in copywriting, design, whatever you want. And people who have been working with you rate you. So you can see if you're good or not. So it depends of, if you need someone that can help you with Google Analytics, you just go and try to see someone that knows Google Analytics, senior or junior, whatever, and then you see like the rates they have. And then they can give you how much is for their time, maybe sometimes for projects, maybe sometimes for hour. So you just try to see which one works better for you. Okay, and there's one more thing that you can do, and it's learning. So nowadays, I think you have a lot of options to learn about everything. You don't have to be like the specialist in something. As I told you, it's better if you just focus on your work. But I think it's good to know how everything is happening right now. So I really encourage you to learn more about this stuff. And it's free and it's online and it's everything there. So why the personal brand is super important? Because as I told you, if you're a freelance, if you have your own company, the image that you project and people see about you is super important to see if they want to do like some business with you, if they want to do some projects, if they want to trust you. So I think it's super important because as we saw before, marketing are like different strategies that you use to promote your services, but it also help you to promote yourself. For example, I don't know, we have been here for 1 week and you can see who is like a shy person, and who is like super social, who knows a lot about their work because they are all working all the time, or who is partying a lot, blah blah blah. So that's how you build your personal brand, and it also can help you to see, okay, after 2 months, who of all these people I can trust to do a project in social media, in web developing, whatever. So it's important to try to work on it. I'm going to show you how. So, any questions? No? Do you know what USP means without reading it?
Unique selling proposition.
Yeah. So, what identify your USP means? Your unique selling proposition, think about you as an object or as a service or as something that you want to sell. So, you need to see what are you good for. I mean, it's important to see this kind of stuff. And as I explained you in the beginning, in my case, I used to be, I'm still, I think, I used to be super good in marketing, in corporations. I used to like to teach, blah, blah, blah. But then I decided to travel. How am I going to merge both stuff in the same person? So, for example, as I told you, don't try to do everything. If you're really good in something, try to show everyone, of course, talking, but also in your job, that you're really working on it. So you need to see which skills you have, and that's the thing that you want to promote. Don't try to be like a 360 professional in something, just try to see something. Imagine, I don't know, for example, in my blogging world, I realized that when I started 4 years ago, there were a couple of bloggers, but they used to be like famous people who used to have like a travel program online, on the TV, and they started being bloggers. So for me, they have a really big difference because everybody knew about them, but they were like real bloggers. Then you also had someone that was showing how to travel with a lot of details. You need to take this bus to go to the airport to the city. This is how much the ticket costs. Blah 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 blah. And for me, it wasn't that interesting. So what I tried to find was my USP. And what about myself? I used to work in really big companies. I used to have a really good position. Now I was deciding to leave my comfort zone and traveling around the world. So that's where I found. Okay, I wanna encourage and empower all the people that is working 9 to 5 or 9 to 9. Earn a lot of money, having an amazing life. For example, in Latin America, that usually happens, but you're not happy with your life. So it's not about budget traveling. It's not about all the details because I have my notebook and I start writing everything that I spent and then I forget, so I'm not really good on it. But I'm really good about sharing my feelings and sharing what I'm living in every single place. So for me, that's my USP. Like a really good executive that decides to travel, not in a budget way, but in a flash packing. I don't know if you know the difference between flash packers and backpackers. Do you know? No? So backpacker is someone that really goes on a budget and try to share rooms and try to hitchhike sometimes. I have done it, yeah sure, but not all the time. And try to go to the cheapest place. A flash packer is like a new word. That means that, okay, yeah, you try to travel around the world the cheapest way, but you want to stay like in a boutique hostel or hotel. You have your own MacBook, you have your big camera because you are like sharing everything. So it's just like a better level than a hippie backpacker. So that's what I wanted to share. I'm not a budget traveler. I have a lot of experience in marketing. I want to share the work the way I feel it. So sometimes I just get a lot of, I receive messages like every single day. So I want to go to Thailand. Where do I have to go? Where can I stay? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, here's my experience about how I felt in Thailand, the best cities to feel peaceful and blah, blah, blah. And that's the way I arrive. If you don't like it, it's up to you. Okay, wait.
Stay because
okay.
We'll have this cut.
Okay. Here?
Yeah, better.
Perfect. So this is the first thing you have to do, and maybe you can talk with some. Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, I think I was going to ask the question that you were just going to say. What tips do you have for us to identify our own USPs?
Yeah. First of all, try to talk with friends that are super. They really know you, and maybe some family, because they can know. Maybe you think you're really good in something, and then they can tell you, no, but you, I don't know, for example, one example. When I was in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to study. And you have this pressure, like, you have to apply for I don't know how it's in your country, but in the country, you apply for the career and the university. It's not like a general exam. So I really need to know what to study. And I start going to every single classroom and my classmate and saying, please, realize that every time that I was talking to the masses, I could have like a message, oh yeah, maybe daddy is paying with his Black Card, all these trips. Or yeah, I remember she was earning a lot of money, so that's why she can travel. Why she's saying that everybody can travel, blah blah blah. So I don't want this because this is not my target. They are not going to understand never why am I traveling and everything. So you have to focus on your niche. It doesn't mean that it's super. I mean, if it's super small, it's good because you really need to focus on someone that can be super loyal with you. For example, I remember some years ago, the gay target to selling some stuff like high level or having a bar in a small, like medium-sized city could be like an amazing place because gays spend a lot of money, gays want to be with their friends, blah 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 blah. So it's a really good market that you can focus on. And it depends on what you're doing. For example, if you're a developer, I'm just going to think about it, and your girlfriend or your friends are in yoga, maybe you can start focusing in all the yoga teachers that want to have like a website and just trying to be focused, like super focused in that market. You can do websites for everyone because you know how to do it. But if you work with a yoga teacher, then you can teach, you can do a website for someone else. They will talk with all their networks, so you can focus on someone or in a small group that is the one that you're really interested in. Something super important, and it's related with we were talking before about trying to focus in the things you are good for. You have to share your knowledge and point of view all the time because social media is here and it's happening. So it's not about being really good in your job and just working on it and telling your friends, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. You have to be, not 24/7, but all the time trying to show everyone that you're good on it. For example, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an amazing platform where you can start following and having contact with people that maybe are gurus for you. So if they write something, then you can let some comments and people can start seeing you. If you have your own opinion, you can start writing a blog. So it's not about just a travel blog. I really recommend you to start writing a blog about yourself, your job, your industry. It could be like, I don't know, Sebastian is in blockchain, so start writing, not just doing or teaching in your small groups. Write about it. So with Google and advertising a lot of stuff, there's a lot of people that you can reach. If you're good in, real estate as well, you can do a lot of stuff content, not just about the things you sell, but you can talk about the 5 best places to buy a house around the world. Okay, it's not totally related with your selling, but they will realize that you know about it. So I think it's super important to be all the time trying to share your knowledge and your points of view. Any question? Okay. Something that is super important here, and at least for me, it has been working super good. And for some reason, I think HP, one of the reasons that I joined HP, and I think maybe some of you that you were working by yourself, you really want to be with people that is like-minded, I think it's a networking. So for me, knowing how to do networking online and offline opened me like a lot of doors. So I think it's super important. Sometimes you're just with your friend, not just a team, sometimes in your city, your company, whatever. It's not just focusing on your friend that works next to you, it's trying to see who else can teach you something, who else can know about the topics that you like, and try to do a lot of networking. As I told you, you can do it online or offline. For example, in my marketing life, I used to invest. I like to call it like invest a lot of money going to different talks around the world. I lived for 1.5 years in London, so every single week I used to go to some meetups and conferences. As I've been working with Google a lot of time, I went to Google offices, maybe I've been in 10 different offices, so then you can meet someone from your country, recommend you to someone there, and then they recommend you like a talk or a small private party, and then you start meeting people. So, I'm super proactive and I love doing this stuff, but if you really want to increase your market and have more work and blah, 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 I think it's important trying to join this stuff. In my travel world, there's a lot of things happening in travel. Also in London, there's like this company called Travers, and then I had the opportunity to meet a lot of international bloggers. Skyscanner, that is one of my clients. They were before Trip, just Trip.com. Then Skyscanner got it, but I met the people in charge just in a conference like this one. And then when I was traveling around Egypt with my boyfriend, we told him, hey, do you want to do like a small campaign? I can promote your app, blah, blah, blah. Yes. And then she realized, hey, you know that I'm super like interested in Spanish-speaking markets. You want to work for me like this way? And then it's one of my clients that I have been for more than 1 year. So you never know where you can get all these opportunities. In this world, we also have some blog trips, or when I was living in Europe, you can have like a Ryanair flight and just go to any city that you are having some of this stuff. So I really like recommend you trying to see what is happening. For example, tomorrow there is some meetup here, a conference about. I can show you, but they are going to talk about growth hacking here in Seoul. So if you're interested, you can go there, like meet like-minded people, blah blah blah, and learn a little. So I think it's important to see what is happening around your city. As I told you also, it's important to, talking about this, if you're maybe like a shy person or you are not like moving everywhere because here in Seoul is super hot and you cannot travel in that moment, you can do a lot of networking online. I mean, it could be kind of nerdy, but in the world of the bloggers, maybe of the 100% of the bloggers that I meet, that I know, I have met face-to-face 40%, and I still have like blogger friends online that are 60% that I think I know them, but I don't know them face-to-face. But we are super friends, and then we can do like some favors between us, we can do contests, we can share information, we can share clients, companies, whatever. So don't just think that it's moving around the whole city or the country or around Europe. You can do a lot of networking online. It's just trying to see forums, groups, websites that you can find people like you. Okay, something that is super important and is related with everything that we have been talking before, it's not about sharing your point of view, it's trying to keep growing your credibility, because in this world, I mean, in marketing or in digital transformation and all this stuff, at least, there's a lot of people talking and talking and talking. For example, there's like these new bloggers saying like, yeah, you can become millionaire just spending or working 3 hours per week, and it's like, hey guys, you just opened your blog 2 weeks ago and you're not millionaire. What are you going to teach me? You know, and this kind of stuff like a lot. So it's super important trying to show what you're really talking about. So the way you write articles, the way you start like meeting people, the way you can offer a favor to someone, and then they can talk like really good things about you, about your work. It's super important because, I mean, time you start like growing, and there's a lot of new competitors coming. And in my case, when I start, my mom told me when I told her I wanted to have like a gap year, she told me, okay, I think for some companies taking a gap year it's really cool, but if it becomes like more time, maybe you're for the cool girl, from the cool girl you can become like a hippie, and they don't want to have like a regional manager being a traveler around the world. So you really need to focus. I mean, you can keep traveling, but try to be connected with all the people that can be good for you all the time. Because now, for example, I remember after my first gap year that it wasn't working at all. There was, if you're in marketing, there's something that is called programmatic marketing or programmatic advertising. I realized that I was like, shit, I don't know anything about programmatic. It happened while I was traveling. Now I feel super bad. I need to learn about it, because if I want to keep traveling and working online, I really need to learn about it. Now, I mean, in my ages when I was teaching, I was one of the best professionals that I knew about e-commerce or analytics. Now I'm just like average, because there's a lot of young people that learn more than me, they have been practicing more than me, and it's okay. Okay, I lost my position, but I still know some stuff, and I'm trying to keep learning and keep teaching and keep working on it. But you have to be all the time like growing your credibility and things you do. Any question, guys? I'm talking a lot. Okay, I'm just going to drink a bit of water.
I have a question
Yeah.
about something you mentioned a bit earlier. So when you're trying to grow either your personal brand or your business, you mentioned there's online marketing and offline marketing pathways. What would you say is a good way for you to determine what are the best marketing channels, either for your business or for you personally?
Very happy.
Perfect.
There you have. So we were talking about online marketing and offline marketing, but in my old school classes in college, we learned about it. Well, actually no. I learned it in an online course, I think, because we didn't learn anything about digital. So I can give you like 3 different ways to do like marketing or communications, and it's paid marketing, own marketing, and earned marketing. You can talk about like paid platforms, paid communication, whatever. I mean, the way you can want to call it. So, what is the difference between each one of these? Maybe some of the most common ways to do marketing that you know is like, as I told you, offline marketing or online advertising. That is like the paid marketing. What it means? Print. It means like newspaper, television, radio, magazine, cinema, outdoor banners, even search of Google AdWords, newsletter, for example, because I mean not newsletter, but Google advertising or Facebook ads, whatever. What happens with this kind of advertising or marketing? You're focusing, of course, you're focusing in some targets that you are interested to, but it's like super big because, of course, you are paying for a magazine. They told you that it's like for 25 to 35 years old, yes, women from this country, but you don't really know who is really good. So I recommend you to do paid advertising. I think it's better if you do it online because you can target better than in offline. It depends. For example, sometimes if you have like a small hair salon, maybe you can leave some flyers around. It could work. But the good thing about online advertising is that you can try to find your best target, try to see how is it working, try to optimizing like real time. But you have to pay money, so it depends if you have a budget. Besides this, you have your own platform or your own marketing. What does it mean? It's like you have your own brochure, you have your company website, you have your communities, Facebook fan page. Here you have your own platforms. For example, I have an Instagram account, I have my Facebook page, I have my own website, I have Viajar para Vivir, and I have analuciarodriguez.com. This is just me. And people go to your platform because they know you or they met you for some reason. So you can put all the content you want. You can share pictures every single day because there's like loyal people that is there because it's your own platform. So try to, first of all, build them. I mean, have your own website. Try to see if people can really like reach you. Try to have your own social media. It's super important, not just a personal one. As I was talking with some people, I don't even use my personal social media, but I use my blogs one, the platform for my blog. And the cool thing is that it's people that really know you, or they come for some reason, maybe advertising, maybe some word of mouth campaign or whatever, but they are in your platform. So you're just paying for your maybe yearly hosting, Facebook. Sometimes you can do some advertising so you can get some people, but it's yours. So this is important. And for me, the most important, where you have to focus, and of course maybe you can work a little on paid, then you can work on own, and then you can get your earned media, is this one here. It's word of mouth. What people is talking about you, that is super important. It's the same about Facebook. I mean, here you have your own platform, but the reach you can get, for example, if I share something about Seoul, like super interesting, and someone here shared my post, then I'm getting like earned media because someone that thinks my content is good is sharing it, so I can have it for free. In my own platform, but it's going to be like earned people, like new fans. Then you can have your own platforms, but also talking about yourself. So this is free, this is half free, half paid, and this is paid. Of course, this one is the one that everybody wants to have, like people talking about you, following you, being like super loyal, but maybe you can start investing a little. As I told you, I invest myself like $30, $50 per month. Then I work a lot on my own projects, and sometimes one of my articles or my videos become viral. Okay, awesome, I did it. Now I get like 500 more followers this week, and I start, people is talking about you, or for example, someone like a newspaper wanna do like an interview. It's also like earned media because you're not paying for the article, you're giving it for free, so you can get like new people. I mean, they are strangers, but you don't pay, so they can become fans for you. You can get like maybe 3 classes to learn about it, but like the basic stuff is it. Okay. Okay, cool. About social media, really guys, I mean, I know there's a lot of people like Tina that don't like social media and everything. Sometimes I tell you that I'm like every single day in social media, but just working, I swear, I mean, sharing my trips and life and everything to my community. I don't use it that much in my personal life, but there's a lot of people and a lot of things happening there. So I think it's super important sometimes trying to focus in the platforms that you are, I mean, your business or yourself can be better for you. For example, if you are, I don't know, if you do cupcakes, maybe Pinterest is a really good one because everybody wants to see the pictures and share with them and try to see different kind of cupcakes that they can do or they can buy, whatever. If you are, for example, in something more visual, maybe you can be on Instagram, but now it's like the best platform ever, so try to use it. It doesn't mean, I mean, whatever you're doing, try to use Instagram. Sometimes Twitter is really good. Of course, it's not increasing as high as used to do it before. But for example, to share experiences, to share a point of view, if you are making technology, there's a lot of things happening in Twitter. So try to follow the right people, try to follow the topics or the trending topics that are happening. You can even follow like minute by minute conferences around the world and you can start talking. It's okay if you just jump to the conversation to people that is joining this talk. For example, if someone now is tweeting about what I'm talking, it's perfect if someone in Mozambique just start talking about this stuff. And for me, I mean, in my work also YouTube is crazy. We were talking with some people. I don't consume that much YouTube. I mean, I don't watch like anything, but it's just crazy. There's people that are all the time watching reality shows like bloggers live, and now people are not following like the famous people that we used to know, like actors or actors. Now like influencers, our life is like public, so it's just crazy. Just be careful with things you care because it happened to me like with my with my ex-couple. I think we did our life super public, at least in Latin America, and now we're struggling with that because everybody's saying like, oh, you broke up, oh, what happens? Like, I feel like a reality show, like, participant and I don't like this, so just be careful with that. And of course, LinkedIn, for me, is the best platform that you can use. I can share you some stuff I have on LinkedIn. I have a presentation in Spanish that I did some days ago. I can translate if you want. But it's not just a platform or a social media to get a job. You can do a lot of stuff. You can build your personal brand, you can share your point of view, you can start like doing a lot of networking. So we can go deeper in LinkedIn if you want one day, or I can show you some stuff. But I think it's super important that you can start trying to see all the options. I'm going to help Natalia with her LinkedIn. If any else wants some help, I mean, I can do it. Influencers. It doesn't matter if you are in real estate, if you're a developer, if you are you have a hair salon, if you're in travel. Influencers can help you a lot. As I told you, you have some that are super big, and actually magazines and expert people recommend you not to work with the big ones because you don't know who are they reaching to. It's better go to the micro niche. I don't know if it's well said, but to the micro niche influencers, and it can be anything. I mean, okay, you're a web developer and you don't know how to work with influencers. Maybe there's some that need some help with their websites. And for example, I can do a story saying like, oh, thank you, Johnny. You helped me a lot with my website. I'm really good like doing content, but I don't know how to work with WordPress. So hey, if you wanna hire him, here's like her account, blah blah blah. So even like that, I mean, it can help this way. Also in the website, you can have like a small box where you can say like, hey, thank you so much. You can pay the influencer, of course, or sometimes you can do like an exchange. But you can say like, thank you to this person, they helped me a lot, they're amazing. You can get more customers there. What else? For example, I don't know, with your books, Michelle, when you start like publishing your books, you can have, I don't know if you know, there's like some YouTubers specialized in books, the booktubers. So you can start like giving some books to some booktubers. They can start like doing an online review and more people can know about it. So, I mean, I don't know if anyone has a business that doesn't know how